The SOCOM 16 by Springfield Armory. Yeah, baby. Check her out. Alright. Let's clear it. For all the gun Taliban out there. See, it's empty. You know, when I first got this, it started to malfunction. Started off okay, but then it started to have problems extracting and all sorts of stuff, double feeding around while it was still around in the chamber, all sorts of stuff. So I got a little bit frustrated. Put it in the safe, became a safe queen, sat there for, I don't know, well over a year. And then I kind of thought to myself, you know what? This rifle, it costs $1,600. That's pretty expensive. And I'm not going to have a boat anchor that cost me $1,600 sitting in the gun safe. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take another shot at this. Took it out to the range, kept malfunctioning, and usually I like to blame myself. You know, if my tools start to go wrong, you know, I don't want to be a bad workman. I kind of like to say, nah, it's got to be something I'm doing. So I went through all the troubleshooting stuff, different ammunition, different magazines, you name it, tried it all, still malfunction. Finally I said, you know what, gonna have to give in, gonna have to give Springfield Armory a call. Called them up. Springfield listened to what was going on, and with very little debate, they went ahead and had me send it in. Sent it in. It came back in 2 weeks. And to my knowledge, it is fixed. Now, what was the problem? What was causing all this? Well, they sent me a little invoice here with some, you know, the usual info kind of blotted out there. But anyway, what it turned out to be was it wasn't me, and it wasn't the magazines. It wasn't the ammunition. What it was the bolt. The bolt was the problem causing the malfunction. Now, got it back from Springfield, took it out to the range, and so far, you know, I hope I don't jinx myself, but so far I'm up to 900 rounds without any type of problems at all. And if you looked on that invoice right there, you know, you even saw where, to their credit, Springfield Armory actually fired 100 rounds of their own ammo through it to test fire it, to make sure it was good to go before they sent it back to me. So, kudos to Springfield Armory, great customer service, you know, just totally salute them for doing that. So, anyway, back to the SOCOM 16 here. This is a little brother of the M1A. Pros and cons. Okay, well, let's start with the negative stuff. Of course, the malfunction, but that's all cleared up as far as I know. Okay. I don't know if you can see it on the video here, but the paint job on this is kind of crappy, actually. It's starting to flake all over the place. Paint's beginning to come off it. Don't know if you can see it, like right about there especially. Paint's coming off, etc., etc., etc. But I'm not worried about it too much because this is going to be a working gun, right? So I don't care about paint flaking off and how pretty it looks. You know what? I don't care. Now, if I decide to touch it up, came up with an idea. I don't know what you guys think about it, but how about this? You know that bed liner that you use on the back of pickup trucks to give it a really tough coating? What do you think about that? I was thinking about spray painting the stock with that to give it some durability. Because after all, this is going to be a working gun. This ain't going to be no safe queen no more. It's where I'm just going to really, really put this thing through its paces. Okay, what else? Okay, let's see. Some good points. this muzzle brake here, this thing is only, what is this now? It's like, I don't know, like 2 inches long. You wouldn't think it, but when you look at that muzzle brake, you think, nah, there's no way that could tame recoil or muzzle flip or anything like that. You won't believe how good that works. You just won't believe it. When you shoot this rifle, it doesn't feel like you're shooting 308. It feels like you're shooting 223. And I'm not joking. If you ever get a chance to shoot one, shoot it. You won't believe that you're shooting 308 7.62 by 51. You won't believe it. This gun is so much fun to shoot, you won't believe it. Okay? So these are some of the more positive things about the SOCOM 16. Another not so positive thing I've noticed, of course, you may have seen it in other videos, but when you shoot this, sometimes you get that kind of Mosin Nagant fireball coming out the the barrel, because it's only a 16-inch barrel. But you're sending 308 power downrange at your target, so that is a positive. Seems to be a really durable gun, now that it's fixed, so forth and so on. If you do decide to get one, of course, you're going to need one of these, right? And this fits over this. Okay, this is what you use to take out your gas plug and what have you. First time I took that off, oh my God, Springfield Armory really had that on there tight. I mean, it was a bitch to get that thing off. But now that I've done it several times, piece of cake. I know you're not supposed to take the take down the gas cylinder and plug and all that stuff all that often, but I don't care. I like to keep it clean and shiny and all the rest of it and functioning well. So, what else do we have here? Of course, you got your steel butt plate, and, your little stuff there that you can put in there. Let's flip to the other side. Now, you see this rail. Okay, so what happens with this rail, you can mount your optics on it and all the other stuff. Now, what I've noticed, though, is when you shoot this firearm, this thing heats up real fast. And what this does is that this mount, because it's connected to the barrel, it conducts all that heat. So when you're shooting this, especially during a hot summer day, you're going to get heat mirage real quick with this firearm. So that's just something you guys need to know about. How about these big old buckhorn sights here? They're okay. I kind of prefer the regular M1A sights. However, this was designed for supposedly close quarter battle. I guess their target was the Special Operations community, hence the name SOCOM 16. SOCOM standing for Special Operations Command, 16 standing for the 16-inch barrel. Okay, so what else we got here? Well, that's all I can think of right off the bat. So if you're thinking of getting a 308 caliber, I don't know, main battle rifle, and you want something that's more powerful than the AR-15 round, right? Okay, you may have heard about Black Hawk Down. You may have heard about our troops in Somalia shooting the enemy on the ground and what have you with these SS-109s that seem to just go through them with very little effect, at least if they get shot once, because the penetrators went through them because the opponent was high on drugs. Drug called KHAT, K-H-A-T. A lot of times it's not like the movies, you shoot an aggressor and he's not going down because he doesn't feel anything. He's high on drugs, okay? AK-47 round, yeah, AK is a great firearm. This is a great cartridge, but, some folks want something more powerful. So, there's that. What else? Hope I got enough time here. Come on, buddy. Okay. All right. One little note. You guys may want to get you one of these if you have a M1A type firearm here. These you can buy aftermarket, of course. And what these are is they fill up the spring, the circumference of it. And what happens is when it fires, the spring goes straight back, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because if you have a regular M1A rod like this, you'll notice that when you reassemble it, it starts to crunch up. So I really like it. It keeps the spring really straight. There's no binding, no nothing like that. So anyway, I think I'm running out of time here, so might make another video on this, not sure. So, another quick note. Gotta love this. Look, American Eagle, specifically for the M1A. Hell, they even got the SOCOM 16 icon on it. 168 grains. I like the heavier bullet. If you're gonna hit them hard.